Brent, you've been here quite a while. What's the big difference? You're a leader of this team. Everyone talks about you being a leader. What's the big difference you see out of this year's squad compared to last year, maybe?
I think we just have a lot of people coming together and ready to play for each other, play for the staff, and just we all got a bitter taste in our mouth from last season, and especially coming off the national championship year, the year prior, and then having that 5-7 season. I just think a lot of guys around here we're ready not to have that taste again and ready just to move on to the next step.
Very culpable, but you've been here for a while, and this is, I think, the first time in 3 or 4 years you've been working out of the same playbook for the second consecutive year. How much confidence does that give you in this offense going into this season?
Well, actually, as of last year, I'm a straight long snapper now. So because of the new offense, I decided to not take the role as a tight end fullback because of learning the new offense, and I wanted to focus just on long snapping and see what I can do with that.
So you got a first-hand look of Kyle Liverman. What were your overall thoughts on how the young freshman's doing so far?
I'm excited. I mean, obviously he's a very talented kicker. He's highly rated coming out of high school, and I think he's showing up to his potential, and everybody's excited to see what's going to happen on come game day and come every practice that we have. I mean, I try putting as much pressure as I can on him before he goes out there and kicks. I want stuff going through his head. So when we go to Palo Alto, there's nothing that he can't handle.
And obviously the kicking game is big anyways, and it seems like you're very intense about holding them accountable for being successful and being consistent. You know, how do you go through that?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously with Griffin Jordy from last year, we all were on the same page all the time, and coming in and having two new guys that I have to build a relationship and build trust with, I think just coming together and teaching them how to do stuff around here and kind of understanding that you're not just going to go out there and kick a ball and it's going to go in every time. There's going to be ups and downs, and you really have to focus on the positive and forget the negative.
There's been a lot of players in here already, and Coach Daxon said it too, but the chemistry seems to be there with the team, and despite all the new faces, the transfers seem to come in and just bought in with everything. Is that something that you saw all the way back in January when a lot of them first arrived?
Yeah, I mean, when they come in, the new guys, they're ready to win. I mean, I can name off a whole bunch of people, but as soon as they come in, they understand what we're about, and we want to win around this program, and we've done it for decades. And I think that just going through the history, I think everybody that's came in transfer-wise is ready to win, and it doesn't matter what it takes. I think they're ready to hit the ground running. We saw that in January. We saw that during spring ball. We're seeing it now during the summer and during fall camp. I think everybody, like I said, is just ready to win and tired of that last season and had that sour taste and ready to move on and show what TCU's about.
When people first meet you and they find out you're the long snapper at TCU, how long does it take before someone asks you about the Baylor kick, the Baylor game?
Not long. That's usually one of the first things that are brought up. I mean, the Hit No Toad in a Hurry obviously went all over ESPN, all over the nation, and that's whenever someone thinks about TCU and kicking, that's the first thing. I mean, there's not much more exciting play in football than that right there. So it's one of the first things people talk about.
When we watch you guys in warm-ups, you're the guy getting everyone amped up. You're yelling TCU. You're getting everyone to repeat it. Is that something that you just kind of took on this year? Have you always done that? And what made you want to get more into that leadership role?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been going on, I know, since my freshman year, and I'm sure it was happened years before that with all the past coach. But, I mean, Steve did it in the national championship year. Coker and B. Cole did it last year, and then I kind of filled in a little bit whenever we needed that, and it was my time to do it this year, and I just took the role and hit the ground running with it. I mean, it definitely brings the energy up before practice, and you can tell when people are kind of moping around before practice, and that's just something that gets a little spark going.
When you pass something like that on, I know maybe you won't officially pass that on, but are there guys younger that maybe you've identified that can carry that tradition forward?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys that are ready to take the role. I mean, that's just something that it's an energy deal. And, I mean, obviously we have Frankie Estrada, which we all wearing the shirts that say bleed purple, and he was a walk-on, and every single day he's here ready to work. He's one of the hardest workers on the team, and he's ready to – I'm sure if he stays back next year, he's going to be the person to do it because everybody knows his energy is – you can't match it.
First time we had a chance to talk to you, what was it about TCU that made you want to come here from San Diego State?
Well, first and foremost, it was the winning culture that they really base themselves on around here. And another reason is I'm actually from Fort Worth, Texas, so this is home for me. So it's just a blessing to be able to play in front of friends and family. It makes it a lot easier on everyone that I love and that I know back home. I say back home, it's like 20 minutes up the road. But just the product of winning and then just being closer to home and being able to play in front of friends and family, I think is just a big blessing for me as well.
You got here in the summertime, you're already kind of running the ones, had the interception on Friday, which has been kind of, I guess, the secret to this fast start you got.
I came in here hungry, and I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted to get done, and but I can't do it without all my teammates doing their job as well. So it takes all 11. So I just wanted to come in here and make a name for myself. And ever since I was a little kid, Dad and Mom always preached just to be the hardest worker on the field, and I live by that. And I just believe that I've been doing a pretty good job, but the work never stops and it's never good enough. That's my mentality. So each and every day, it's always what can I do to get this much better. So, each and every day, watch more film, stay after practice, get more reps, watch the people who play my position and see what I can critique off them or pick up from them what they're doing well. So,
What's your impression been of the defense since you've been here?
I love it. Coach Avalos, he is truly a very smart person, and we have some history because he was the head coach at Boise State, as you guys all know, and I was at San Diego State. So I played him for 2 years, and every year his defense got after our offense like pretty bad each year. It's very dynamic, and he's smart, and he puts us in the right position to make plays, and he can do a lot with different bodies. He can like different packages. There's just a lot of unique things that he does with us.
What are some of the ways, we seen you at edge rusher, I think the other day we even saw you kind of lined up at nickel. What are some of the ways he's been using you so far?
Yeah, he's obviously put me into the boundary, letting me pass rush and just be more of like an edge rusher type person. And then a different package put me to the field, more of like you said, like a nickel, being in space and being able to cover and play more downhill. So I'm enjoying it. I'm having a blast out there being able to be versatile because, it just gives me another opportunity to show what I can do as well.
Coach Avalos has said that stud position is a versatile position. Did you kind of play in a similar role at San Diego State, or is this kind of a whole new transition for you to play that role?
I'd say this is just technique-wise and how he coaches it, I'd say it's very new. And just by what he does with our position, the stud position specifically, it's way different. There's just a lot more like technique and fundamental things, but once you get the technique and fundamental things down, it all correlates back to different packages and where you are in the field.
What are some of your early impressions been Josh Luke going up against him?
Yeah, me and Josh, we ever since I came in, we've connected pretty close. And just today, there was a crossing route coming over the middle, and I jumped it, and he threw the out route, and he was like, "Gotcha!" And I was like, "All right, dude, I got you too. I'm gonna get you next time." But he's a baller. He's a competitor, and he'll get after it. And he's just a competitor, and he'll get after it.
Talk a little bit about the versatility of your role, but when you are on that edge and you're rushing, what's your impression of the tackles that you're going up against that offensive line?
Oh yeah, tackles are good. I actually graduated from Northwest High School with Mike Nichols, so watching him and going against him again, I was like, oh, this guy's a whole nother person that I've gone against. And then you got Blessed, and all the other tackles are good. They're really good. They're obviously big people who can move, so that's what you want. And they're great competition. One-on-ones are always heated competition. So competition brings out the best in everyone. So I think it's just good for everyone. It's a little cliche. It's iron sharpens iron, so you're only going to get better.
How cool is it for the folks back home, you two guys playing at Northwest, and did you call and talk to him before you made the decision to come here to just kind of get some background on what TCU had to offer?
Yeah, so when I was in the portal, I actually did talk to Mike a little bit, getting some insight. He had nothing but good things to say about TCU, and the choice was pretty easy because it's right here at home as well, and being able to play in front of friends and family, like I said, and then Coach Avalos' defense and how versatile I can be within the defense is a no-brainer for me.
What are your thoughts about Coach Cos and the strength program? Because you know, Mike was 245 in high school, I think I remember. I can't remember how big you were, but, you know, kids get bigger when they come here.
Oh, yeah.
So what are your overall thoughts on Coach Cos and his strength position?
On my official visit, that was the biggest thing that caught my eye was the entire strength staff. And like you have the nutritionist, there's like 8 different strength coaches out there, but Coach Cos's mentality during the summer, that's what he preached. And he always had good little talks at the end of workouts that always like brought things full circle. Like, oh wow, like I never would have thought about this, but he gives a new perspective and he just gives you that drive and motivation to go that extra yard. And, yeah, just all the different resources we have, it's insane. I've never seen anything like it. So it was all new to me, and it was, once again, a no-brainer for me to come here.
Clark was in here yesterday, and he said that he doesn't like the defensive line, he loves the defensive
Yeah.
line. You got any thoughts about the linebackers and the safeties?
Oh, yeah, I'll go ahead and say I love the defensive backs and linebackers. You know, they can just cover and we can get after the quarterback. You know, it's iron sharpens iron. So if they work well and we work well, good things are going to happen. But we just have to get pressure on the quarterback, and I feel like we've done a pretty good job. But we just got to keep going and give those back end guys help because covering's it's a hard thing to do for sure.
Speaking of that pressure, Cooper, you guys had a pretty good night Friday night. I really lost count of how many times you guys got pressure on the quarterback. But how cool and fun is it to see the pressure just coming from all different angles? And I mean, just how fun is it to play in a style of defense like this?
It's a blast. I've never played quarterback, but talking to Josh, he was just like, dude, like sometimes I'm just like, bro, like what is going on? But that's what you want to hear from a quarterback. And it gives us as defenders confidence going into the season, knowing that our defense is getting after it and we're in a good spot, but we just have to keep going and keep building on what we've done so far in fall camp.